The clip you're about to see is not suitable for children. It contains blood and gore, so if you do not like that type of stuff, please do not continue to watch. Okay dolls, now that you've seen all that nastiness, I'm going to show you how I did it. Taking my ruler, I'm just going to measure from side to side on my neck. And I want about 4 inches, so I'm going to make the skin flap at least 4 inches thick, like so. And then I'm going to take the ruler vertically and I'm going to measure about 1.5 inches up, and that's how wide I need my skin flap to be. And now I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, so I already measured my neck to get the right measurements of the skin flap that I want. I'm just spraying some alcohol all on my surface. This is just the top of my dresser, and I like to use this just because you know, I have the glass on top, so I just make sure it's really clean, and then I just work on the surface. If you don't have a glass dresser, get a plate or something like that, something that the latex, you'll be able to peel it off easily. So I'm just going to take my liquid latex in a small little bowl thing, and I'm just going to pour it in. About that much should be good, and you might want to have a blow dryer handy to help you dry this even faster. So now that I got my liquid latex ready, I'm just going to put it to the side, and I'm going to measure out my measurement. I want it to be 4 inches wide. Make a mark. You could just use whatever you have. I'm just using an eyeliner that I don't use, so I'm just creating marks in about that wide. And I just broke my eyeliner. Okay, let's try using a different one because apparently that one sucks. Okay, let's see, what do I have? I use blue. Blue probably should better. Yep, that's better. Okay, so 4 inches, and then I want it to be about 1.5 inches wide. So like that. So I'm just going to create my latex inside of that box, but I'm not going to put the latex on top of the eyeliner. I'm just going to put it in between, you know. So let me just finish creating my box. Okay, that's good. All right, now just with a sponge, I'm just going to dip it inside of the latex and just start laying it inside of the box. And I'm not putting it on top of the eyeliner. I'm just putting it inside the box. So you might want to make your box a little bit bigger, but for me this is fine. Okay, now I'm just going to allow that to dry. Right now you could get your blow dryer and blow it dry, and then start putting on the next layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my blow dryer, and I'll be right back. Now I'm just going to add my next layer, and the reason I'm doing this on a surface instead of actually doing it on my neck is because I don't know if you guys ever done this, but when I personally apply latex to my neck, because the skin is looser on my neck, if I move my neck a certain way, the latex starts to stick together and create folds, and I don't want that. I want it to be one flat piece going across my neck and not anything that looks, you know, wrinkled or anything like that. So that's why I'm doing it on the surface first, and then after I'm done, I'm going to powder it all down so it won't stick together. So I'm just applying the next layer. Okay, now that I have 2 layers down as a base, I'm going to start to put it just in the central area because I want the edges of the latex to be pretty thin, so when I put it in, it blends in seamlessly with my skin and it won't just look like, you know, a chunk of latex just on the outer edge. I don't want it to look like that. So I'm just gonna basically concentrate the latex just in the middle for the maybe 4 or 5 more sections that I am doing. So I'm gonna apply this 4 or 5 times. You know, I'm gonna keep on blow drying in between the layers, and then the piece will be complete, and I will show you what I do to get it off the table. Okay guys, so I finished applying the layers. So I did 2 as a base, and then for the 5 extra layers I placed them mainly in the center, maybe like a smidgen away from the edge so the edge won't be bulky. So now that it is dry, it should have a yellowish tint and it should not feel wet. So I'm just going to take some translucent powder. This is just a cheap one I have. I'm just going to pour it on top and, you know, put it all over just so when I lift it off, it won't be sticky. This is translucent, right? Let's see. Yes, translucent. I don't know why it looks this color. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that over. Making sure all of the edges and everything are coated because you don't want anything to stick together. And I'm just going to take one of my brushes and just dust the extra away. Like so. So it should look like that. Now I just got my little makeup spatula. I'm just going to peel up the edge just a tad. And if it starts to curl in, it's fine because once you apply it to your neck, it's gonna be covered with latex on the edge anyway. So it's okay. Don't try to pick with it a lot because it will tear. So as you're coming up, you just want to powder every single part that's coming up because once it comes completely off, you don't want any of it to stick together. There you go, and you have your skin flap. And it looks like this. On the outside it is textured because when you're stippling the sponge, it does create texture, so it's not like it's smooth. This surface is really smooth. You would use this for a bald cap, you would use the inside portion, but for the outside I'm going to be placing this on my neck so it will have the textured portion and it would go right on your neck. And if you don't apply as many layers, it will tear very easily, so you could even apply more layers if you want, but I felt like 7 was enough. So 2 as a base for the entire portion and 5 for the central portion just to give it a little more strength in the middle. Okay, now it's time to apply. So I'm just going to look at my neck and decide where I want to place it. Make sure it's not in the way of when I'm moving around my neck. I'm just going to take some liquid latex on a sponge and just put a thin line all along the bottom portion of where I want to put it, and then just stick it right on there. And when you're putting the latex, you want to stay really close to the edges of it because you want to create a pocket in the middle because that is where it will be filled with blood. So as you can see, I'm just going along the edges, and on the top portion I am going along the edges very thinly, and I am going to leave a hole along the top, so I'm not going to close it off all the way. So as you could see, I did leave a small hole right there. I want to make sure it's not stuck together because you really need that hole to be open. And now I'm just going along all the edges once again, just to seal everything together. And I got latex on my shirt, so this shirt is a done deal and it's garbage now. Yes, I'm just going all around my skin flap. And then I'm gonna blow dry, and then I'm going to do it 3 times. So I'm gonna apply it, blow dry it, apply it, blow dry it, apply it, blow dry it, and all while keeping that hole still open because you need that to be open to apply the blood in the inside. So again, you need to do that process 3 times, okay? 3 times. Now I'm just making sure that hole is still open, which it is, and I'm just going to powder everything down to make sure nothing is sticking together and to take away that shine. And then we're going to move on to the fun part. Now I just took one of those medicine syringes that you could pick up at any pharmacy. And I'm just going to fill it up with some fake blood. I made this fake blood. There's a whole bunch of recipes on YouTube on how to do it, so you could go ahead and look that up. So I just stuck the syringe into that hole, and I'm tilting to the side to make sure the blood leaks sideways into that pocket. And I'm just pushing it along with my finger, but very gently because you don't want the blood to come popping back out of the wound. And you don't want to tear off the skin by accident as well. So I'm just spreading it lightly with my finger, and then I'm cleaning it up with a tissue. Once it's cleaned up, I'm just going to seal the hole with latex, and I'm going to do that 3 times. So I'm going to apply it, blow dry it, apply it, blow dry it, apply it, blow dry it until it's sealed. And then I'm going to powder it with the baby powder. Not baby powder, sorry, the translucent powder. Now I'm just pressing. I'm pressing it to make sure that there's no leaks. So now that everything is good, I'm just putting the powder on. Now it's time for the coloring. I'm just taking some of my foundation, which I chose tinted moisturizer. I don't even know why. I should have used regular foundation. And I'm powdering that afterwards. And since the blood is so, you know, dark, I have to use a green corrector. So I'm just putting a green corrector all over it. And then I'm powdering that once again. And now I'm taking some more of that tinted moisturizer. If you're going to do this, please use a full coverage foundation. And then powder that once again. And since I still felt like the color was off, I went over it with a super light concealer, blended it out, then powdered it once again. So it is a whole bunch of powder on my neck, but hey, whatever. Now I'm just creating veins using some cream colors that I mixed together to create this weird purpley color. And I'm just doing little veins, and then I'm going to take some red and just, you know, irritate the area a little more. So I'm just going to put on a little more of that tinted moisturizer just to blend out all of that veins and swelling, irritation. And then I'm going to powder and put on my scarf until I'm ready to scare the hell out of my friends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This tutorial was amazing to film. I love scaring the hell out of my hubby and my kids. It was fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys.